Hi, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today for this business confidence coaching workshop called On Finding Focus. I created this workshop for myself first. Finding focus has been something that I have struggled with for years. When you are in your intuitive business, you know that that's my lingo for really being in your passion space. There's so much you want to do. You're in full enthusiasm, you're in full impact mode, full purposefulness, and you really want to do it all, and you want to do it all now. But that kind of orientation creates really an inability to actually accomplish what you want to accomplish. Over the last several years, I've worked on focus and discipline in my business to come down the funnel, as I say, to be able to accomplish what I really want to do, which is be in my impact space, generate income to support my life, and create a business that supports the way I want to live. I want to be able to travel to Arizona to see my daughter or do my business while I'm, on the go, and still produce and see my accounts growing. And so that's how I came to be offering this workshop. And I have created a great infographic that I'm going to share with you now to guide us in this discussion. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm very excited to share this infographic with you today. I love my infographics. I honestly will reveal, I don't know if the design of them is the best ever, but using the infographic model for me has helped me just get to focus on something that I've been wanting to do. So again, full disclosure, all transparency, I'm not sure on my design, but I love the use of the tool. And that actually has helped me find focus. So this workshop is called On Finding Focus. And the quote that I have, every quote that I use on my infographics are real. This one says this: Susan taught me that focus matters in my business so I can grow comfortably and produce consistently. Focus and discipline ensures my business growth and sustainability. And this quote really says it all. And I'll be showing that to you in the infographic. So if you have followed me, if you've attended some of my other workshops or my groups, then you know that I created an acronym for focus. Figure out core undeniable strengths. Focus. Figure out core undeniable strengths. Core there also refers to your intuition, which really develops from your passion. So to really find your focus, and I love the picture of that lens, you could almost see her turning it, or him, whatever, turning it to bring focus, right? It is only when you figure out your core undeniable strengths that you will truly be in focus for yourself and for your business. So often we kind of travel down different trails, going off into spaces that are of interest, that might be of interest to us, but don't really speak to our own core. And so every word, figure out, determine, think, imagine, write, speak, figure out core. What is your passion space, your core, your intuitive sense? What is the meaningfulness of what you're doing? Undeniable. Undeniable means not able to be denied. Undeniable to you and to others. People tell me all the time, you are in your undeniable passion space. I feel your energy, your enthusiasm is contagious. These are ways to know that it's undeniable. And S is for strengths. What are my strengths. Being in your strength place instead of your weakness place or your struggle space is the most important thing that supports your focus. So focus, figure out core undeniable strengths. The next thing I want to speak to you about is discipline. Self-discipline is the absolute base foundational need for any person in business, for themselves especially, and even in small businesses. Self-discipline is required to get done what it is that needs to get done in business. There's discipline and self-discipline. I found these two sayings over the years. I don't even know where I got them. So many years. These have been kind of on my, my note, in my note deck to myself, to remind myself to have self-discipline. I have been self-employed since the year 2001. I have been self-employed on my own as first a consultant and then a coach all these years. The way I have sustained myself in my self-employment is through discipline, self-discipline, and focus. Now, I'm not perfect. I've had my breakdowns, I've had my breakthroughs, I've had my struggles and challenges, and I know that I'm out of discipline and I'm definitely out of focus. So the saying here, the distance between dreams and reality is called discipline. So many entrepreneurs live in the world of dreams. I wish this, I wish that, I see this, I see that. These are the dreams that we have. And the question is, how do we go from dreams to reality? As you know, I spent some time in Arizona, and I just brought my business to Arizona from New York. I was living a reality of a dream that I had many years ago. My sister tells me and reminds me, it was on my deck years ago. I think it was about 2011, I'm not sure, that you told me that you wanted to be able to take your business out to Arizona where your daughter was. And that was a dream then, but you're in the reality now. And the way I got there is not because I'm so great and perfect. It's because it was so important to me. It elevated in importance to bring me focus by using discipline. So somebody else said, and I don't know where to attribute these. I say, again, I've had them for so long, but they have served me all these years. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. So what I want now is always balance, 100% of the time. What I want now is always neutrality, calm, and balance. I also want to be productive, creating a lucrative, sustainable business. So what I want most is to be in my impact space and to be rich beyond my wildest imagination so I could do what I want for everyone else for free. So discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. If you focus on what you want most, then you will work through and towards that very idea. Keep your eye on the prize. When I got through what I wanted now, right, to be in balance all the time and calm and neutrality, that was nice. But what I wanted most was to uplift, inspire, and serve other women, giving it away for free if I could, anytime I was able. And over time of focusing on what I wanted and really using a self-discipline, I decided, why do I have to wait till I'm rich to give it away? Why can't I do it now? Okay, I can only give away little bits, but I still can do what I want most now if I'm disciplined. So what I did have to do was work a lot. I just work a lot. After my kids were grown and gone, I was very lucky that I was empty nested. And I just got up and I worked in my passion space all day into the night. And it was amazing. And it generated more money into my accounts that let me slowly, a little bit at a time, say, recently a client said to me, I really want to work with you to do a personal intensive, but honestly, I can't afford the full price. Would you accept this amount? That amount was 50% of my fee. Well, I knew that was a wonderful client for me. I had already worked with her. She was renewing with me. Any renewal client is my best friend. I love them because that's where my bread and butter, loyal, consistent income comes from. I said yes right away. Why? Because what I wanted most was to really uplift and inspire this younger professional who had a lot of the struggles that I've lived through. And I wanted to work with her. That's what I wanted most. I could only say yes because I could afford to say yes, because my discipline has me, really being in the reality of what I created. Discipline is absolutely vital to finding focus. Discipline is vital to finding focus. Another thing that is vital to finding focus is to stop multitasking. I feel like multitasking is a myth perpetrated on women by the patriarchy of all time. We are the wives, the daughters, the sisters, the mothers, the housekeepers, the church volunteers. We are the people who have done it all. And we did it all sometimes while we were working, while our spouses, partners, husbands, whatever, all were just going to the office. And we kind of had to, or did choose to do all the rest. Why? Because we were told multitasking is a fantastic skill to have. It's not. Multitasking is antithetical to finding focus, to being in your core undeniable strengths, focusing really on what you want and what you need to do to grow your own business, for your own sustainability, for your own financial freedom and flexibility. And I'm saying, planting the flag in the ground right now, that finding focus is where we really need to be through discipline, through self-discipline, in order to do what we want and grow our businesses. Multitasking is sometimes necessary. Of course, don't get me wrong. I understand that. But the big idea of multitasking as a good thing, as a good skill to have, actually has been extremely not just detrimental, but also damaging for women in particular, because we think we're failing all the time, because actually multitasking puts you into failure mode. There's simply no way to be in good focus, to be able to get done what you need to do when you have different things playing on you, working on you, coming at you, in you all the time. So shut off your email when you're working, put your phone in another room and focus, and stop trying to multitask. I am busting the myth here and now that multitasking is a good thing. Finally, focus fades from no feedback. This is very important. In women's work, we were never taught to measure or track our progress. How are you supposed to track women's work, the traditional work of women? We were never told to, we were never taught to, it was never a thing. And so by extrapolation, we didn't bring that into our business personas, into our work. But in order to find focus, it's important to be able to track what it is that you're doing. Otherwise, the focus on it will fade. And I ask you to apply this to yourself. So I wrote down a few examples of this so you can self-apply. One example, tracking walking miles. If you're a walker like I am, you want to track your miles so you see how much you've walked. And when you see how much you've walked, You are so much more motivated to keep going. When I realized that I set a goal of walking a 5K a day. That's 3.1 miles every day. For me, that's not so much. And when I realized 3, 6, 15, 20, 21, I was walking 21 miles a week, 20, 40, 60, 80, more than 80 miles a month. And I often walk up to 5 miles a day. And when I started tracking this, I was pumped. I was like, damn, that's a lot. I'm doing great. And so tracking my progress helped me focus even more. I got to do my 5K today. Another example, tracking my habit of writing. My work in writing changed my life. I started writing, just journaling, regular journaling. I moved my writing into meaningful, impactful social media posting. That's another workshop that I do called Organic Marketing. And from there, I actually was found by a magazine publisher, Sybil English, and she recruited me to write for her magazine called Luminous Wisdom Sophia. It was a new magazine that was coming out. I said yes. I paid for the advertising in that magazine, and I started writing monthly articles. And then with those monthly articles, I put together an anthology, and I got my first published book. I'm on my 3rd published book now. I'm working on my 4th book, published book. From my articles, it will come out this summer. And so tracking my writing habit, when I turned my mind on the focus of tracking, I realized what a difference was made for me, the impact that my writing had, and what a difference was made for me in when I wrote every day. And also when I don't write. And so tracking my writing has been game-changing for me, because for me, in my world of work, writing is one of the ways to grow your business. A third and final example is my values prioritization tool. When I started my values work like 23 years ago, I did my own values prioritization. That's why and how I came to have a values prioritization tool as part of my Confident Life coaching. Everything I've done has stemmed out of my own work. When I did the values prioritization and I visited with it and I thought about it, I wrote about it, I felt it, and I reprioritized again as my life progressed, I realized that I was living according to my values, and it felt good. It felt comfortable. It felt right. And that was a way of tracking for me that showed me, if I track living by my values, I'm living a better life. I'm happier, I'm more comfortable, I'm more confident, etc. So these are 3 very different areas of tracking. Of course, you can track easily in your business money that you're making, programs that you have, numbers of people, etc. Whatever it is that you want to focus on, I want to encourage you to understand focus fades from no feedback. Finally, I want to share an action item. The most important action item to improve focus is this: eliminate distractions. I know it's not rocket science, but this is what we suffer. Again, there's reasons for women. We've been trained to multitask. We've been doing it our whole lives since we were girls, actually. And, you know, there's so much going on when you're in business for yourself, or working in a small business, or turning an idea into business. And I just want to really, again, say clearly, right to you today, if you want to find your focus, then eliminate distractions. Identify the things that are distracting you most, and then ask yourself, what can I do about it? If you get lost in social media, don't start social media until 10 a.m., noon, or 3 p.m. If your phone is constantly dinging with your texts coming in or the calls coming in and this and that, and you find yourself responding, getting taken away when somebody else feels like getting in touch with you, then put your phone over there. God forbid, you could even turn it off for an hour. or you could put it in another room, or, just make sure that it doesn't create a distraction for you. Negative thoughts, we suffer from negative thoughts. They're constantly showering on us if we're human. And so with negative thoughts, you could just write them down on a piece of paper. Anytime something comes in, something worrisome, scary, anxiety producing, etc., don't try to force it off. Look at it, acknowledge it, receive it. You could even embrace it if you want, and write it down over here. Of course, if you've been a client of mine, or if you want to work with me, I have lots of reframing tools that are completely transformative for your negative thoughts, but that's not the purpose of this today. Today, on Finding Focus, we simply want to acknowledge our negative thoughts, acknowledge our worries, anxieties, fears, sadness, whatever it is that might show themselves to us and distract us from our focus, and just write them down over there. And they can live there. So they can live over there, so you can focus here. So these are the ideas that I wanted to share with you. I hope that this has been helpful for you today. And I would love to hear back from you. You can find me at my website, whatwillyourlegacybe.com. I'm hanging out on Facebook every day on my Facebook page by the same name, What Will Your Legacy Be? And if you're looking for accountability of any sort, then I'd love to speak with you about that. Contact me. All right, friends, that's it for today. I will see you soon. I'm going to stop sharing now. Hold on. I'll stop recording. Okay, friends, that's it. Thanks very much.